With the start of this year's Kyoto Summit just 3 hours away, the delegates from the participating countries are beginning to arrive at the conference center.
Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Snatcher. Time for a recap.
A major poll of domestic and international opinion, carried out just last week, shows that the vast majority of respondents favor a complete quarantine of Neo Kobe as a means to combat the risk of the Snatcher menace.
Freaking quarantine, great.
Now nobody can get their Neo Kobe visa.
Now that the chief's death has been confirmed, it won't be long before they strip us of our junker authorization.
They will be deciding how to handle Neo Kobe at the summit in just 3 hours.
There are rumors that they're going to use nukes on the city to make sure the Snatchers are wiped out.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. Come on, this is the 21st century.
It's very similar to Akira.
It may not be as improbable as it seems.
I was like Resident Evil 3.
Snatchers are extremely concerned about the Snatcher problem.
The chief was going to calm this hysteria in
I
his
think this
speech
is
at
an
the summit,
underlying
but
fear
that'll
of
never
Japan in
happen
general.
now.
3 months ago, government pressure on junker operations increased dramatically. Gillian's transfer here was really our last chance.
Our own chief was snatched. It's not too surprising they don't want to trust us anymore.
Yeah.
I've heard that the Army and FBI are going to take over operations now.
That's correct. That too will be officially decided in 3 hours' time.
3 hours, eh? Is there any way we can find their hideout in that time?
If we don't, we and everybody else in this city are finished.
As far as they're concerned, we're just like a cancerous tumor that has to be cut out.
We have to hit the Snatchers' headquarters before then.
No Arnold
Gillian,
Schwarzenegger
can you do it?
quotes, please.
Yeah.
If we only knew where it was, I should be able to manage something.
Hitting their outposts like Queen's Hospital won't do any good. We have to find their main nerve center.
Damn.
What about the memory of that Snatcher who was impersonating the chief?
Just like the others, it was completely blanked. It's a form of self-destruct mechanism that they use.
Wait a minute. Metal, what about tracing that video phone call from Jamie?
Oh, wow.
It was no good. The call didn't last long enough.
Oh.
Still, it definitely did come from within the city.
Damn. Where are they hiding?
Gillian, can't you remember anything at all? Didn't Jamie say something that implied you were somehow connected to the Snatchers?
Nothing. I can't remember a damn thing. Metal, I want you to tell me everything you know about me. Why was I sent to Junker headquarters? Where did I come from?
Gillian.
Metal, the chief's dead. Tell me everything you know about me.
Well...
Kind of makes him the chief.
Yeah.
You see...
Metal!
If I killed the chief, do I become him?
The chief thought you were the highest-ranking officer here.
You knew all along?
Of course.
Oh, where were we rescued from?
3 years ago, you and Jamie were taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. More precisely, you were discovered in cryogenic sleep pods in an underground bunker near Moscow.
Damn.
Cryogenic sleep pods? You mean they were frozen?
This is a photograph of the bunker. There is no record of when you were placed there.
Yes, the opening of Overblood.
The third pod was empty
Yeah.
at the time you were discovered.
There were 3 pods?
You were revived and taken into
High
custody
five
by
if
the
you get
Army.
that reference.
Apparently, as a result of the extended sleep, both of you suffered from complete amnesia. However, another theory suggests your memories may have been intentionally erased.
Oh, damn.
This is the only piece of evidence found at the site.
Huh.
That's Harry's picture, from when he was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Harry is Gillian and Jamie's son. It's been confirmed by DNA tests.
What a twist.
Harry was my son?
Using the information gained from the photo, it was established that you are Gillian Seed and your wife, Jamie Lorraine. Both of you are American citizens, born in the late 1960s.
The 1960s?
Wow.
That's out there.
In addition, both of you vanished without a trace in 1989. There is no other information available about you after that.
1989?
Which is when this game was originally
You come
made
from a world
about.
that's been gone for 50 years.
But what does that have to do with the Snatchers?
When the 17th Special Investigative Force was bringing the two of you out, there was an accident. Though the two of you were all right, most of the 17th was killed. One of them was a Snatcher. Of course, before their departure, they all underwent thorough examinations. So, if one of them was snatched...
It had to be somewhere in Siberia, right?
That's correct. And in order to attempt to determine the origin of the Snatcher, as well as your true identities, you were assigned to Junker Headquarters. The hope was that exposure to the Snatchers would help you regain your memories.
Moscow? 50 years ago.
Almost everyone who was in Moscow at the time was killed in the catastrophe.
So Gillian and Jamie are the only living witnesses?
Harry. Harry was my son.
Did he know?
No, it was highly classified information. He was never told.
I was never able to do anything for him.
Wait a minute, Gillian. Didn't Jamie say something about taking a boy hostage?
That's right. They must know about Harry and are using him to threaten her.
We have to find their headquarters quickly.
We've only got 3 hours.
That's so brutal.
Gillian, let's think this all through again. We may get some kind of a hint out of it.
You're right. There may be some clue in the way they're operating.
All right, let's go over what we know about them.
Okay, now one thing I would like to point out, we kind of understated it because we've already played this game, but if you had perceived a connection between Gillian and Harry, chances are you might have thought that Harry was Gillian's father, because, you know, Harry said that Gillian's the only person he's really comfortable talking to. It was such a twist when you realize that Harry, despite him being biologically older, is in fact our son. That was mind-blowing to me. One of the best twists I've ever seen in a game.
I also really like the fact that, you know, you suspect him at first because, you know, he's he's the red herring.
Yeah.
In this game, and eventually you find out he was one of the heroes all along. He's like an understated hero in this game because he helped save HQ. You know, so I think it's really awesome that he's a descendant of the hero of this game, and he was being the hero too in the game. If you really think about it,
yeah,
I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool that the heroic nature of this family is carried through.
Yeah, it is pretty badass. I love the way the theme just runs on.
Yeah, I just love that, and I love how he redeems himself from being a drunkard and being a hero by the end of it with his father there. It's a really nice like cleansing effect for that character at the end of it.
We didn't have as much occasion to talk to him as we might have if we were playing the game blind, but there really was a character arc to be had there.
Yeah, I really like that, and there's a lot of character development there, and he's redeemed by the end of it. It totally redeemed, which is great. You don't really see that in video games.
Not too terribly often. Movies, maybe.
I mean, you might see occasionally like the big bad of a game, you know, realize that he was terrible all along after he's gotten shot a bunch.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen that way in this game. In this game, he starts turning around once shit goes down.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving along. First of all, what's the Snatcher's weak point?
Their head.
Okay. Now,
Ultraviolet rays too.
yeah, just check them. Was it ultraviolet?
They're very violent.
Yeah. So that's the Snatcher's weak point. That's correct. Their weak point is their defective artificial skin. Long-term exposure to ultraviolet rays causes mutations in the melanocytes and the stratum basal of their skin, which become
Basil, I think.
yeah, cancerous. Basically. Specifically, long ultraviolet rays in the 250 to 350 nanometer range is responsible for causing the cancer.
That's right. And that's the reason that they were so limited as to when they can be out.
Alright. Clues.
They only come out at night in the middle of the winter, and wear sunscreen even then. Which gives it a really nice vampire parallel, I might add.
Yeah, right. That's the method that Jean used to figure out what the Snatchers were up to. How ironic. It turns out the destruction of the ozone layer actually had a benefit for us humans. Wow. That's right. Now, what method were they using to move and be able to avoid ultraviolet rays and sunlight at the same time?
Again, I want to point out how well, closely written, tightly written that this game was. They told you about the ozone layer deteriorating, not only because it was a hot topic back then, but because it's part of the story.
Yeah, very well done.